What's going on, people? Today, I'm going to be talking about how to raise your prices as a video creator. But before we jump into that, allow me to introduce myself. I'm Jack. I produce daily content based around video editing, videography, and how to make money making videos. Subscribe if that sounds interesting to you. Today, we're talking about how to raise your prices as a video creator. Now, a little context on me for anybody new tuning in. I am a full-time video creator. I'm a sole trader. I've worked for myself since 2017. I'm 21, turned 21 probably last week, September 12th, right? And I've been in business since I was 18, right? So nearly 3 years since 2017, I've been registered as a sole trader. And, my career has taken different paths, right? Some months I've done better at videography, right? So shooting videos for clubs, music videos, promo videos for businesses. Other times I've had bigger months doing remote freelancing on the internet. So video editing for YouTube channels, video editing for personal brands on Instagram, video editing for product videos for companies that are launching stuff through Facebook ads and stuff like that, right? So, it's gone basically up and down. Those are my two main streams of revenue in terms of video creation. And, some months I've done better on one thing, some months I've done better on the other thing. But the whole time I've been a full-time video creator since 2017. And pretty much I picked up a couple things and my prices have obviously increased as I've gone. And the main factor for increase of price is increase of demand. There you go. I don't know what you clicked on this video for. I don't know if it's you think you're worth more or, whatever the case may be. But the main thing that will drive your prices up is increase in demand. Or, to be honest, you could just wake up and be like, I'm done working for this price. I'm only working for this price. And you put it out there and, maybe some people will say yes, but maybe some people will say no as well. And the thing is, if you're a full-time video creator, the only sustainable way, or not the only, the main sustainable way that I'm thinking of right now, right, to actually increase your prices and what has happened to me is as demand goes up, you don't have to have a project, right? So for example, back in the day, if I was negotiating with a client, just talking about prices, right? More or less, I was afraid to go for too much because I didn't want them to say no because I needed the project. It's something that a lot of people fall into the habit of, right? And you kind of have to get the project because you need money, etc. You're sort of working maybe project to project. You don't want to go too high because you don't want to not get the job because you need it, right? More or less, I'm sure you'd be fine without it probably, but in the moment you're thinking, I need this job because you don't have loads of other stuff lined up that you could be doing otherwise, right? And this is where it's tricky. You can get a little bit nervous on dictating your price if you think you're worth more and you think they might not pay it because you need the job. Now, the main point of being able to charge more is when you have the leverage, and the leverage is not needing the job. I'm in a great position now, which has really only happened in the past few months, right? Where I don't need the job. I'm happy to dictate my price and not get the job. I'm happy to. I got other stuff to do. I prefer not to get the job a lot of the time, you know what I mean? There's bigger projects where it might not be one video, they might be 8 videos over a 6-month period. That's a lot of mental capacity that, to think about that job for that 6 months and to be piecing it all together and communicating with the client, that's a lot, right? So I'm gonna state my price. And if you can't pay it, that's absolutely fine because I don't need the job, right? And that's basically where you have your leverage. So you could leave the video right now. I'm pretty much going to talk a little bit more in depth about this, but the main way to raise your prices is to raise your demand, or the main way to increase your price is increase your demand. Increase the amount of people that are actually lining up to work with you. That's sort of a complicated one because the main scalable way you can get more business is by doing more projects. And honestly, the main way you can do more projects is in the first start by not charging shitloads. You know what I mean? Is by actually being able to get people into your funnel, so to speak. And the thing is taking a project is almost inevitably going to lead you to more than not taking a project, right? So in the early stages, it's actually a smarter strategy to not actually care about the price. In fact, I'll still do something for free today. If someone messages me and they're like, Jack, this is a phenomenal video. It's a new type of video. I'd never done it before. And I knew that the industry paid a lot for those type of videos, but this particular client had no money or minimal money for me. And I could see that having that sample would give me basically, what would you say, a sales point or like a marketing point to be able to market my services to other people in the future, right? In terms of showing them a sample and saying, here, I've done this video, or maybe making up that you've been paid to do it before or something like that, so that the future client could see the sample of what you're capable of doing and then go on to hire you, right? And that's a tactic that I would use all the time at the start, is I would just do one free video for the new type of genre of content I was creating, whether that be music videos, nightclubs, whatever, promo videos. And then you'd have that sample, and now you can present a sample to somebody, and now they know that you could do it. And then that next client goes on to hire you, right? So it's actually a tricky process. In the first place, I would advise pretty much everybody just not even to care about prices until you're pretty much 2 years in, more or less, something like that, 18 months to 2 years in. Now, that's a tricky one. You need to pay your bills, obviously. You need to care somewhat about your prices. But the main sustainable way to create organic growth of the business is to be involved in more projects. Therefore, you are on the mind of more clients. Therefore, you could be getting recommended, or you're on a shoot and other people see you doing it and then they come up to you and ask for your details. I was just on a podcast with my friend Tom yesterday, right? Basically the Make Money Making Videos podcast. Check that out, right? Me and Tom were talking about how he's starting off as a music video director, right? And he's telling me about a story where he's literally on a shoot and he's 17 years old. He's offering his services for free to get himself out there, basically following through with the same strategy I'm talking about here, the same one that I lived back in the day. And he is offering his services for free. He's shooting a music video, and then someone else comes up to him who sees him shooting the music video, who's part of the entourage or whatever, and they go, "Awesome, you're the video guy, that's great. I have a video that I want shot as well. How much do you charge?" And now he states matter-of-factly, I charge 60. Now he's getting paid zero for the shoot that he's on, but he's stating to this new person that's coming up, I charge 60, right? Still an extreme discounted rate, but if you're 17, you're getting 60 bucks for a music video, 60 pounds for a music video. Sweet, that's a win, you know what I mean, right? So at the end of the day, he's stating his services to the new person who's come up and shown interest in him because he's involved on a shoot. So a lot of people, right, they might not have taken the shoot. I'm worth more. Free? Are you kidding me? Hell no, I'm not going. And then they wouldn't have actually gone on to get that paid client next, which is exactly what Tom did in the Make Money Making Videos podcast. Check out my podcast if you're interested in growing your business as a videographer, as a freelance video editor, whatever the case may be. It's called the Make Money Making Videos podcast, people. What could we be talking about on there? Who knows? Probably making money making videos, right? Check that out, a lot of value in there. Now, let me have a sip of my canned water. It's getting low. Pretty much that's it. Main way to increase your price is increase demand, because then you literally just dictate your price, you state your price, and then boom, that's what they pay you. Simple as that. You know what I mean? That's more or less how it goes. I was hearing a story about a wedding videographer, right, who actually wanted to kind of potentially get out of wedding videography. He was getting a little bit bored, and what he would do is just keep upping his price as he went, because he had the demand was there, and he would just keep upping his price until the point where it came around where no one else was booking him. He'd reached the ceiling of the price that people were willing to pay, but he was trying to get out of wedding videography anyways, so he'd ended up with a boatload of cash because he'd just been dictating his price, and he had demand, and he was able to transition into the next type of video creation that he wanted to do based on just constantly upping his price because the demand was there. That's when you're in the best position to up your price. If no one's calling, you can't really dictate a price because, no one's calling. You sort of have to go straight to them, and you kind of have to tiptoe around the price and hope that you're given a good enough deal that they want to accept it, that will get you in the door to kind of work with them in the future, right? A little bit rough, a little bit random, but at the end of the day, that's more or less a pretty scalable strategy in terms of how to raise your price. It happens naturally. It's called the natural progression over time as your skills improve, as you maybe bring more equipment on board. Now that's a factor. All right, I'm up with my prices now because I just spent this money on equipment. Whatever your criteria is at the end of the day, but the main two controllable factors is the fact that if you are doing more projects, you're most likely gonna get more projects out of that, which means you're most likely gonna have more demand, which means you're most likely not going to have to take every project. And that's the best place to be in, right? Literally, I had a meeting in my office. Guy came down. He's down from London, right? I live in the countryside, just like 3 hours away from London. I live in UK, by the way. If any new viewers are tuning in, most of my actual viewers know that obviously. But he was down here. We had like an hour and a half meeting, something like that. Broke it all down. He's doing some sort of photography-based course, and you want me to shoot it, and it's gonna be like 9 or 10 different videos, 5 different lessons, and then promo videos attached to it. And I quoted him $3,000, right? And we talked a little bit back and forth, but I don't know if this guy's gonna hire me for that, right? If he does, sweet. I do the project. It's like 9 or 10 videos, I think, something like that. But it's over 6 months, so it's a lot to think about. And if he pays that, wonderful. If he doesn't, it's not a problem at all because I've got other things to do. And at the end of the day, you don't need the project. So that's my main takeaway for you guys. Don't put yourself in a position to need the project, because then you're in a position to increase the prices based on the fact that you have demand, right? That's wonderful. If that was the only project, right, that $3,000 I quoted him, I might have quoted him half if that was the only project available to me right now, but it's not. I've got projects coming up. I got a music video next week. I'm shooting a charity thing with my homie. I was just in the gym this whole past weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. The whole weekend I was shooting in the gym for a fitness program. Next Friday the 27th or whatever it is, right? We're in there for another 3 days shooting the fitness program. I've got stuff to do. Wonderful. I don't have to take that job from the guy, and that's leverage. I have leverage, more or less, right? Opposed to there being none of that other stuff I talked about, and only this one guy about the educational course, and now I have to quote him maybe 1,500, half what I thought like I could comfortably do it for, maybe because I need it, right? And obviously he's talking to other people as well, so the fact that, whoever quotes him the least price he's probably going to go with, right? I assume somebody probably quoted him under 3K for it, which means that they'll probably get the job. Boom, at the end of the day, right? But I don't need it, and I'm absolutely fine with that happening. So thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate you for watching the video. Follow me on Instagram, Twitter, or Facebook, whatever is more intuitive for you. I'm active on all of them. Respond to every comment, respond to every message, literally everything. If I didn't respond to it, you forgot to send the message. Hey, I hate to blame you, but I respond to everything. You forgot to send it. It's your fault. My bad, I'm trolling. Thank you guys for tuning in. Have a nice day, and I'll see you in an upcoming video. Later.